The date is June 26, 1990, and Dairy Shrine's Living History camera is focused on Bill Nichol, Executive Secretary of the Pennsylvania Holstein Association. How long you been on the job down there, Bill?
I started in August 1959, so I'm on my 31st year, Mac.
Seems like only yesterday. This is a fellow I go back quite a ways with, so I guess I can get real personal pretty fast. How big is the Pennsylvania Holstein Association?
Well, we this past year we end up with 5,400 members, adult members, and we have close to 2,000 junior members in our state association. We're one of the largest and most active state associations in the country.
Pennsylvania is Holstein country, I guess you could say that.
Right, we're Holstein country. A lot of family-sized farm operations, and we work together. And we decided something good for the membership and get behind it. We usually can accomplish our goals.
Well, you're a big Holstein state, obviously, and you're right up in the top group on nationwide in registrations, too, are you not?
We're one of the largest numbers of registrations. We have something like 700,000 total cow population. I think we're second in the number of registered Holsteins right now in the nation. Really
something. Now, here's where we're going to branch off a little bit. The Pennsylvania Holstein Association several years ago did something that was rather new at that time for a state association of any breed to try. You people actively launched an export program. How long ago was that, Bill?
Well, in 1970, we decided we needed to expand our operation, and that's when we got into the export business. About that time, the National Holstein Association got into the export business, and we applied for the opportunity to be a supplier or a coordinator of dairy cattle for their export orders, and it was that time that we got started. And actually, we needed a challenge. We needed a reason to do the things that we're trying to get the dairy farmers to do. We needed a reason for them to want to classify their cows. We needed a reason for them to be on production test. And after 10 years of telling dairy farmers, or 11 years telling dairy farmers they should classify, I relished the opportunity to say, if you classify, I'll pay you an extra $100 for your heifers for an export shipment. And we did that. And we educated through the pocketbook. And it worked. It worked.
It usually does. But your partner, actually, you provide them on a new market, and they had to qualify for it. Very good indeed. Right. Now, one thing else about it, you have a quarantine station there, don't you?
Right. In 1975, we purchased a farm near Harrisburg. Well, it's 5 minutes from Harrisburg International Airport, 175-acre farm, and we have barn capacity for over 800 head of bred heifers at one time. And it served the eastern seaboard, actually served the entire United States as a federal quarantine station. We've shipped cattle there to 50 different countries throughout the world since 1970.
Now, this is used by the Pennsylvania Holstein breeders, or can anybody use it?
Oh, it's available to anybody. We have a pen fee and per head fee, and we rent it out to anybody. We manage it. It's our farm, and it is, as we mentioned, it's a federal approved quarantine station. And we've shipped horses, beef cattle, swine, sheep, and about 90% of our business has been the black and white registered Holsteins and grade Holsteins.
Can you give us a rough idea how many of them you put through there?
I would say our big year is close to 3,000, 4,000 head. Of those 20 years, oh my, well, just one country alone, the 15,000 head or 16,000 head that went to Hungary during a 5-year period. They all passed through Harrisburg. We didn't have the farm in those early years, but I would say we're upwards to 35,000 head of dairy cattle went through the quarantine facilities at Harrisburg.
Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned Hungary. Where are these cattle going, basically? How many countries are you serving, and any big ones besides Hungary?
Oh, yes. Italy in the early years, Spain. We've made shipments to USSR. We've made 3 shipments to People's Republic of China. I made large boat shipments to Tunisia, Egypt, South America, to Venezuela, to Brazil, air shipments. We have friends around the world, and there's no better way to develop friendship than working through a live animal, through agriculture exports.
Mm-hmm. Now, pretty good foreign policy, huh? Now, we'll go just along a little bit from that. You've been at it quite a while. Has demand, just confine it to Holsteins for the time being, has demand changed materially? Is there anything they're looking for now they weren't looking for when you started, or anything like that at all?
Yes, actually, we have created stiffer competition for ourselves in these markets around the world, and the market has changed in some countries from live animals to embryos, and semen has always been an active marketing tool here, or something that we have been offering our genetics to bull semen. I think some countries are using some political aspirations, using some diseases to keep our live animals out. I'm a little bit concerned with some of our breeders selling some of their top genetics through frozen embryos. I always like to see them keep some of the quality animals, quality embryos here in their own country. Possibly down the road, Mac, we may see some countries form some contracts with us where they may ask us to house their bulls here in this country, where we can probably give them an opportunity to have a U.S. proof, and then that bull would be available, his semen would be available for our own breeders to use as well as for export.
Now, tell me this. You spoke a minute ago about creating competition. Do you foresee a, shall we say, do you foresee a two-way traffic in cattle and semen and so forth, that some of these genetics you're exporting are going to result in good cattle overseas, and we'll be having them come back here, semen or otherwise?
This has been discussed in some channels. We have the disease situation to consider, and do we have the protection from transmitting of some contagious disease, bringing back, and this is something we have to be concerned about.
Foot and mouth disease, for instance?
Foot and mouth disease, and there are other diseases too. So I think we have to be aware of this situation, and there's no reason that the United States cannot keep ahead because of our sheer numbers, okay? Numbers and calling and selecting from this great pool that we have in the United States, we should be able to keep ahead. Not saying that we'll never bring genetics back from some other country. No, I would say let's not close that door. Let's keep that open. I think we need to be looking more, though, and possibly maintaining some of those genetics here and offering the opportunity to these countries. Why take the animal to your country when we keep it here and make her or him available to our breeders as well?
Now, just sitting here listening to you, you're obviously pretty well into this export business. You know, for most of the angles. Look down the road just a little bit. We've been looking back to when you started and so forth, but look down the road just a little bit ahead. You tell me what you think might ought to happen and so forth. Do you see any bright spots on the road ahead, or any matters of concern, or how do you feel about all this?
Oh yes, there are a lot of countries in the world that if they had the funding, if they had the means for purchasing our genetics, they would be doing it today. We're seeing more world trade being developed. USSR, for example, 10, 12 years ago, we made some shipments there. They're looking at us. If they had the dollars, the fact that McDonald's is there with their operation, if we had some bartering arrangements that we could work with some of these countries. People's Republic of China, tremendous opportunity. Millions of people there. They need dairy products. There's no question about it. There are many third world countries in Africa need our genetics. To me, the fact that we're spending less and less dollars for defense, that's going to open up the opportunity for countries to use more of their funds, more of their dollars, so to speak, to improve their agriculture base. And without a strong agriculture base, I think a country is headed for problems down the road.
I'll buy that. Now, you're going just a step farther. Just zero in on one country. I know that you did go to China at least once, shipping the cattle. How are they being used over there?
Well, we sent, this was in April of 1985. We had 126 Holstein heifers and about 30 bulls on a shipment to China. The bulls went into an AI stud. The heifers went to a number of different farms for use in providing a genetic pool for sons and improving the quality of their herds. And they certainly need our quality Holsteins. They continue to contact us, and I look for them to be a big buyer down the road. They don't necessarily need all our best cattle, but they just need black and white cattle. No question about it.
I suppose just a matter of time we'll have Chinese cows who are mooing in Pennsylvania Dutch.
I think so.
Good. Thank you very much, Bill. We've been visiting with Bill Nichol, Executive Secretary of the Pennsylvania Holstein Association, discussing his association's export program. And my name is Miles McCarry.